My name is Omar Garcia, Senior Director of Water Resources. I'm tasked with implementing the permitting, conservation, metering, and compliance programs to manage the Edwards Aquifer. So our irrigation permit holders were issued permits with two types of water rights. Base irrigation groundwater rights, also known as restricted or non-transferable by our permit holders, and unrestricted irrigation groundwater rights. The base irrigation groundwater rights, which are used to farm and irrigate crops, and they are tied to the land, meaning if you sell the land, the water rights can't be retained by the seller. And that's why they're known as restricted or non-transferable. When the land that is associated with these base water rights gets sold and developed, the new owners can apply to convert these base water rights to unrestricted. Unrestricted is the opposite of base, where they can be used for municipal or industrial or irrigation purposes, and they can be sold and severed from the land to other EAA users. Typically, we see base being converted to unrestricted west of San Antonio and Bexar County. There's a lot of development happening out west here, and so these farms are being developed into now subdivisions. And what that does is, it doesn't change the amount of water that's being withdrawn from the Edwards, it just changes where it's being withdrawn from. So initially it was withdrawn from a well on the farm to irrigate the crops. When the subdivision gets developed, the water rights may now then be transferred to utility, where it's withdrawn from their wells to provide water to the homes that have been built on the development. Or in some instances, the previous landowner has some kind of contract with the developer. When these base water rights are no longer considered base water rights, ownership of the water rights then transfer to the previous owner of the farm. Managing the permits is important because legislation capped the total withdrawal from the Edwards, from our portion of the Edwards, to 572,000 acre feet. If you total all our permits, they total that amount. And so what's important about that is this created a sort of a cap and trade system within our region, to where if one user no longer withdraws water from the Edwards, that water that was withdrawn could be transferred to another user. So the use never increases, it's the type of use and from where it's withdrawn that changes. And that's important because we're not essentially permitting new water rights to be withdrawn from the Edwards. We have to maintain that cap at all times. So historically, if people were making permitted withdrawals from the Edwards Aquifer through their wells, they would need to apply for a permit from the EAA. The window for that application process closed in December 31st of 1996. Today, if somebody drills a well and wants to make permitted withdrawals from the Edwards Aquifer, they need to seek out a permit holder and purchase or lease water rights to get the authorization to make those withdrawals from the Edwards. So if you want to learn more about how we manage the Edwards Aquifer, please visit our website at www.edwardsaquifer.org.